Welcome back to Beyond Basic Phonics English Morphology 101, and lesson 45 is actually a review of the Romance layer. That's prefixes, suffixes, and roots. This is for reading practice. We're going to divide this screen. There's 20 rows, and we're going to do 10 rows, and we're going to move the screen up, and then we'll do the next 10 rows. We're going to do these rather quickly. You should be able to read these pretty easily. And it helps if you read it by syllable. So the first one we have is introduction. Remember, duct there means to lead, so to lead into an introduction. Next we have reception and difference. Number 2, interruption, so you're breaking into something, that's a noun. Literature. Competence. Competence means you are able to do something well. You're competent. You have competence. 3, corruption. Respectfully, and I think you can see spec in there. Respectfully. You should treat your teachers respectfully. Adversity. There we see the turn. Adversity. Number 4, we have destructive. So you got struck there. The idea of to build, and then destructive would be to tear down. Next we have predictable. Able to be predicted. Next we have reflection. So you got the idea of to bend there, right? You see a reflection of yourself in a mirror. Number 5, going across. Here we have bi, long at the end of a syllable. Bilateral, that means two sides. Cooperate, means to work together. Observant, to pay attention. Professor, we have the agent on the end, someone who professes. They believe something. Professors should believe something, and they should know something too. Next we have inaudible. That means not audible. I-B-L-E. So audible means you can hear, inaudible not. Next we have subtraction. 6, superstitious. Incredulous. Cred, to believe, so incredulous, something you can't believe. Spectacular. And to spec there means to see. So spectacular is something that you can see that's just fantastic. Spectacular. Number 8, extracted, as they extracted a tooth, pulled it out. Prescription, you write a prescription. The doctor does for medication. Prescribing, which goes with prescription. Prescribing a prescription. Number 9, exclusively. That means only. Like the movies be showing exclusively tonight, not tomorrow night. Convention. Corruptible. Again, you got that rupt in there. And able to rupture, and then corruptible means that you can't corrupt it. Number 10, we have transformation. You're going to change the form, transformation. Contracted, con together. So when you sign a contract, you're pulling together. Track mean to pull. Disrespectful. That's when you do not respect somebody. Now we have shifted down to the, let's see, well, we've already done 10, so we'll start with 11. 11, we have let me turn on my little marker here. Circumscribe. I'll circumscribe that word right there. To circumscribe means to circle. Next we have information. We have the word form there, information. contradict. Contra is against, and dix is to speak. So when you speak against somebody, you contradict them. You don't agree with them. You tell them, no, that's not right. I think this is right. Contradict. Number 12, circumference. And again, that means around the circumference, all the way around. For example, a circle. Then we have detention. Maybe your school has a after-school detention. If somebody breaks a rule, they have to stay after school for detention. Manufacture, to make something originally by hand. Manu meaning hand. Manufacture, fact meaning to make. 13, we have impulsive. And I'm sure by now you cannot be fooled by those disguised prefixes. The N here has changed to an M because the next letter starts with a P. What do you call that? Euphonic change. You can call it assimilation. It is a chameleon prefix, a disguised prefix. Pressing on. We have convertible, like a car, the top comes down. Extrovert, we've studied that. And that's somebody that's very outgoing. Dejected, that's when you feel like nobody wants to be your friend. Interjected, that's when you interject a comment. Introvert, and that is the opposite of the word up above. An introvert is somebody who's very shy, withdrawn. Next we have intermission, and that is enter, and then you have the noun shun, but anyway, intermission. That means you can send somebody out to get popcorn. Admittance, like when you're allowed to come in to a building, you have admittance. Dictionary, a wonderful word. I hope everybody has a dictionary. And yes, you can ask Siri, and you can probably I have a dictionary on this computer, but nevertheless, you should learn how to use a written dictionary in alphabetical order. Number 16, dictatorship. A dictatorship is someone who has complete control of a country, does what he wants to do. Reflector, an agent that reflects like a mirror. Suspension, well, that's pretty cool because this is the idea of to hang. So when a suspension, like on a car, takes the bumps out of the road when you're going down the road, your suspension. Unintentionally. Intentionally is when you do something on purpose, and unintentionally is when you didn't mean to do it. And the ly, of course, makes it an adverb. Dependent. If you're dependent on somebody, you depend on them. You're dependent. Pendant, another word for hanging down. That's like a lady might wear a pendant, something pretty around their neck. Diverted, like his attention was diverted for a moment. Independent. Independent means that you are not dependent on somebody else. You don't have to hang on to them. Projected, you see throw in there. Number 19, averted. They had averted an accident by paying attention. Interdependence. These two kind of go together. Interdependence is just the opposite. It's where people are working together. Attention. Pay attention. It's important if you're going to learn anything. Rupture. If you take a balloon and put a pin in it, it will rupture, and that means to burst or break. Structure is anything that you build, like a house. And finally, spectator. And I feel sure by now you could read every one of these words and even understand them from their root, prefix, and suffix. Now we're going to go on to the Greek layer. These are called, and they are called combining forms. Rather than roots, prefixes, and suffixes, we're going to look at the combining forms. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed teaching it, and we will see you with the next video.